facing forward, one facing back. One to make it more interesting. But, you know, it's another $500. The camera and the memory card. Oh! 586. Hey y'all, today we're gonna go over my glide bait box for tournaments. These are up to 7-inch baits. Basically my confidence baits. These are the colors and the baits that I throw day in, day out. I leave the big ones at homes for tournaments. I only throw those on fun days and occasions. Let's start out with them. All right, so my number one bait is going to be the S-Waver and light trout. If you notice, all of my S-Wavers, because I can remove the tail, I do remove the tail. And what it is so that when it's in the box, the tails don't get all crooked and laid over, and it'll actually swim right. If you pull these out of the box and you notice that it will only step one way, it'll kind of stutter and then step out, stutter and then step out, chances are this tail is not straight. So again, I have all the tails removed on these, but I do run them with the tail, obviously. This light trout is good for showing fish. They will eat this, and I definitely have probably caught the most amount of fish on this color or the next color. But this bait is really good at getting them to show themselves so that they can pull themselves up, and then you can come back later on with either a different color glide bait if you're into that kind of fun day, or come back with different baits to get them to react and actually commit and eat. Now the next color is going to be the Warden color, and I don't know if you can notice, but there is some wear marks on these. I do have some tricks that I do to this that I'll probably cover later on. It's kind of basic tricks for all of it. This Warden color is really good. Oh, I almost didn't cover. This is any lake. Delta, Clear Lake, Berryessa, Comanche. Don't matter, they will all eat this, and they will all come look at it and stare at it. So this bait, don't count it out. It is worth its weight. This one, again, is every other color except for like Malones, Pedro. I don't get as much of a reaction on this one. But as far as Berryessa, Clear Lake, Delta, caught a lot of fish on that. That 5-pounder you just saw was on this bait right here, this exact bait right here, back when I had a little bit more paint. Now I did mention that this isn't good for the Clearwater lakes. This is what I throw with Clearwater lakes. This is Party Crasher. This seems to pull out more. I think it's just more, it's more subtle. It doesn't have that white to it. And that subtleness and that chatty kind of look and that bait kind of look, kind of trouty-ish, silvery trout. I think that's really what they're looking for in those ones, and that's where I'll get these bites from. Moving along, Clear Lake. This is Threadfin Shine Glide 185. This is one of those baits that not a lot of people talk about. If you know about it, you know about it. As you'll notice, all of these baits are on the affordable side. I don't go crazy for tournament fishing. Shine Glide in the Threadfin has been one of those baits that I've been throwing that has done very well for me, especially Clear Lake. Also Berryessa, that little bit muddier water has to have a little bit of tinge to it. It does work in clear, but it feels like it has to have a little tinge to really make this come out. Now we're going to get into the baits that are the one-offs. I don't throw them as much. Those are kind of my staples. This is a Cha-Cha Glide. It is very good at reactive. If you have a tight area you want to throw it in, It's nice and sharp. You can make this thing dance. It is not very common. Not a lot of people talk about it. I don't know why. I think it's just one of those quiet ones that are under the radar. But the Thunderhawk is, I believe, what they call this. Cha-Cha Glide, it is very, very good. It is, like I said, more of a reactive, less of a cast and wind style. Also, of course, we have the Gantrel Junior. Although I have the full Gantrel, I will throw the Junior more often than not during tournaments because, well, I'm looking for bites. I'm not looking for the bite. And they will react to this, and they will choke this thing. They will hit this thing harder than some of these other glides because they just want to kill it. And then to wind it down, if they are focusing on small bait, I have the S-Waver 120 and the Shine Glide 135. This one has a sharper movement to it. It definitely doesn't glide as much. It kind of dances. You can walk this one a lot more. It's a lot like that Cha-Cha Glide. And the 120 does still have that glide motion, and you can swim it through. If you notice, these are both bait colors. When I go down to this size, it's more of a match the hatch, less of a less of trying to go after the big ones. It's more of trying to just fill that limit off of them. There are other colors in here, of course. There's other ones, but my day in, day out, what I do my most work on is probably going to be these 4 baits right here. This is where I live most of the time, depending on where I go. And if anyone ever asks about glides, these are the ones I recommend. This is the first one. If you're going to buy the first one, this is the one that you buy. This will give you the hope to keep going. This will give you the hope to want to spend more money. And if you do want to buy a second one, this is the second one that I would recommend. And once you do this and you see what comes out at you, the rest is history. So that's it for that. And until next time, I hope you get them.